Some of you are overthinking other people's struggles or overthinking somebody else's past situation, and you are totally out of line. First of all, it's none of your damn business, okay? Because it ain't your struggle or your situation, but you're sitting up there meditating and overthinking it. And the reason why that you are meditating and overthinking it is because right now you're facing some serious karma in regards to the fact that your ass was wrong about that whole situation in the first place. You either thinking wrong about it once it was brought to your attention, or you said something wrong about it, or you probably added on to the story some bullshit or whatever to try to make yourself look like a victim if you had a role in it, but you were wrong about it. And now here it is, months, weeks, years, or whatever later, and a similar situation has either come around, or you're probably close to meeting your maker and you're going through the list of things you want to try to get off your chest. I don't know what the case may be, but something has happened where it's making you overthink the situation that occurred. Instead of overthinking and addressing, what you need to do is you might want to apologize to that person or repent to your maker or whatever the hell it is. But it wasn't your business to even overthink a damn thing about anybody else's situation if you weren't going to try to help them solve the problem. On previous audios, I talked about people who were being nosy, so quick to talk about your problem and spread the bad news and everything, but won't lift one single finger or lend a resource to help you out your shit. And we all know that these type of people we do not keep in our lives. We don't. Because they're not worth the time or effort. They're just not. And the reason why I say overthinking a situation is because I'm going to turn around and I'm going to throw my past situation as an example. You did something that you had no business doing. Now, a lot of people, you might have made a mistake or something that's pretty bad that goes against the family tradition or whatever the case may be. We are all humans and we all make mistakes for whatever reason in life. The trick to this thing is not the mistake itself, but the mentality associated with it. So, in order to make sure that this is not a pattern of behavior and that it doesn't happen and you don't make that mistake again, is to address the behavior and to rechange the way of thinking. Some of us do that, some of us don't. Some of us is a constant pattern throughout our lives, doing the same shit over and over again on a periodic basis. But in my case, I made a big mistake. And the thing is, because of that mistake, now that I've come out on the other side, which 50% of the people who were associated with me and knew about it didn't expect me to make it. Let's make that very clear. And for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about the years of addiction. They weren't expecting me to live to even talk about this. And the other half are overthinking the situation and thinking, oh, yeah, well, she said that she started in 1994. But who's to say? Because before then, I remember such and such. She might have been doing it then. See, that's overthinking a situation. Don't turn around and take my testimony and twist the shit up to your advantage. Because there were certain events that could have occurred prior to 1994 that didn't work out between us, that you knew the shit that was your fault, but instead you would want to go and say, oh, she's saying that she didn't have a problem with drugs or anything prior to 1994. But I remember back in 1990, 91, when we had the problem with so-and-so, I saw some behaviors, and you ain't see a goddamn thing. Shut up. You're trying to create this scenario as an excuse for the fact that you had a major role in the shit that happened between us. You had a role. Whether it was a financial situation, a job situation, a relationship, or whatever the case may be, and that happened way before 1994, before the opioids came into the picture. But you want to turn around and blame something that happened later on something that happened prior to that so you can justify why you acted the fucked up way you did. Y'all following me with this? I was married between 1990 and 1993. I didn't start the opioids until 1994. Full disclosure on this channel, people. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. I understand that this is going out to the world. Okay? But I'm going to tell you, during that time, I was a wife in every sense of the word. I'm going to talk about my previous marriage. I was a wife in every sense of the word. But when it was time for me to file them papers in the short time that we were separated, oh, the lies came out. The rumors came out. The stuff that I heard through the grapevine that came back to me that people don't know I heard. The stuff that was said in the street. Oh, she left because there was another man. That was the number one lie. When I was married, I was a wife in every sense of the word. Another man wasn't even a thought. I took my marriage vows very seriously. I was a wife in every sense of the word. Was I perfect? Hell no. But I have never taken company with another man in romantic nature. I never let another man touch me in an appropriate way or nonetheless even think about sleeping with anybody. I didn't have that on my radar, period. There was no emotional affair where I was sneaking around to see anybody. It wasn't like that at all during the time that I was married. Never. And just to be on the safe side, I didn't even start even thinking about seeing anybody until close to 1 month after my divorce was final. Because I knew during that grace period, when I started hearing those rumors, I knew to keep myself low. I kept my nose to the grindstone. All I did was go to church and go to work, and that's all I did. Because I knew legally in my mind I was still married and I was going to stay married until that gavel went down in the courtroom. Once the gavel went down in the courtroom and I got my maiden name back and got my life back as a single woman, then I could take my ass out there. And see, a lot of you are making that mistake right now. You turn around, you walk out on your spouse, you having a divorce pending, but you figure you know that person so well. Now, this is the enemy now, okay? Then the first thing you do as soon as you walk out the door, you go take up with somebody else. And guess what happens when you go to divorce court? Come to find out you've been followed, you've been surveilled, you've been videoed. That person could have been a plant by the other person to see if you were going to be unfaithful. You don't know. All of a sudden, you got that shit to deal with when you go to court. So when I first started hearing rumors after I left my husband that I was cheating, I automatically went into defense mode. I said, okay, this is a battle now. He's out, okay. His people, whoever his people are, because I'm not going to say that it came out of his mouth. I'm just telling you what came back to me from his people that he was associated with. When it got word back to me that I was involved with whoever this person is, and for all I know, someone could have been crushing on me and could have told that lie to him. I don't know. But I can tell you this, from my mouth to God's ears, I never was involved with anybody. Never. Because I was a wife in every sense of the word. So when my child was born, there was no issue as to whether or not he was the father. There was no issue as to where the child come from or anything like that. My daughter knows who her father is. My son knew who his father was until he died. There was never a question in those cases. Never. And if there was, them Negroes, those people, them heifers, whatever you want to call them, they were lying. But see, that's what happens when you overthink somebody else's business, overthink somebody else's problems. Because you don't want to be accountable for your role as to why things aren't good between you and that person. You're coming up with smoke screens as to why you don't want to take responsibilities for your actions and your thoughts in the demise and the destruction of that relationship. So prior to 1994, whatever occurred had nothing to do with the drugs at all. It's just shit happening in life with a broken person who dealt with broken people. How about that? I know this is going a little deep for some, and some of you are going to be sitting up there thinking, wow, that's probably why so-and-so was so-and-so. I want you to think about that, because I want you to reevaluate your relationships, because some of you are still involved in these relationships with these people now, and you're thinking everything is okay. But as soon as you drive off, as soon as you hang up the phone, as soon as you get out of the chat with this person, as soon as you get off of the email with this person, they'll turn around and they will start talking shit about your situation with this little fake ass narrative they got in their head about what they think happened, knowing deep down there's not enough evidence to support it. Why? Because the shit did not happen. These are the type of people you might want to reevaluate your associations with. And if you're one of these people who overthink other people's business, find something else to do with yourself, because apparently you don't have enough going on in your life. Join a club, get a hobby, volunteer, that's good. You don't have enough to do. So I kind of hope this helps someone. Peace to you all on this day. And thank you for your support. Have a great day.